Hey guys, Jacqueline Fernandez here at the Alert Center. Thank you so much for joining me again this afternoon. Chatting with Jesse Schmidt with the BBB to talk a little bit about National Preparedness Week. So, why this was set up, what we can do to stay home and be prepared ahead of time in the case of an emergency, in case of an accident or, God forbid, something of that nature. But as you know, stuff like that does happen. So here joining me now is Jesse Schmidt with the Better Business Bureau. Jesse, thanks for joining me again at the Alert Center today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me back.
Of course, yeah. So tell us a little bit about National Preparedness Week. What are we talking about specifically?
Well, this was an event that was sponsored by FEMA and the Ad Council, really in an effort to get all of us to have those conversations. Talking about bad things that could happen, like a natural disaster, it isn't fun, and those aren't easy conversations. But the best time to talk about them is when you're not in that situation. So you want to make sure that you set aside a time where everybody is calm and relaxed. And this is important to have a conversation with your young children as well as your young adult children or your children of any age. You do those fire plans when your kids are little.
Right.
This is just a change in plan as they get older. They're off at college. What if there's a national disaster in one of their communities? How do we get a hold of them? So, set aside time to have that conversation and talk about steps that you have taken for preparedness. Encourage them to ask any questions. And, that might be like, where are all of our important papers? Are they in a safety deposit box? Where do we have copies of those within the home? In the event that electronic communication goes down, what are we going to do if we are miles apart?
Right.
Do we send a text message in the hope that everybody gets it? So just a lot of things and a lot of conversations to have.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it's best to have these conversations over a set time period. You don't want to feel rushed. You want to make sure that everyone kind of has this plan, right?
Absolutely. There's no better time to talking about emergency than when you're not in an emergency, right? We had all kinds of flooding again this year. This is not the first time that that's happened. So how can we ensure that our family knows like what we're going to do and where we're going to meet, and in the event we lose communication, who's that third party that we can get a hold of to let everybody know that things are okay? And maybe that's somebody that doesn't live in our community, but is a trusted family person or friend. And again, we have kids, we send them hither and yon across the country,
Right.
and we worry about them no matter what. So lots to think about and talk about.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost like you want to designate like a, temporary mom, depending on where your kids are in college, just someone in that area code where they can really check in on them, make sure they're okay, and chat about stuff like this, because it is called an emergency for a reason, right? The idea is you're not prepared for something to happen. So the best thing, it sounds like, is to be prepared as best as you can, right, Jesse?
Absolutely, right? Do all the things that so you can try and remain as calm as possible, because even if you're, feeling anxious on the inside, if you're calm on the outside, that will portray a lot of confidence to the people close to you.
Yeah, that's great. All right, Jesse. Well, thanks so much for joining us at the Alert Center this afternoon. Is there anything else you would like our viewers to know about National Preparedness Week?
Well, I think if you really don't know where to start, there's all kinds of great information out there. So just go search National Preparedness Week. You'll find great information.
Okay, great tips for us. Jesse, thank you so much for joining us again at the Alert Center. We appreciate your time today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me back.
All right, thanks, Jesse. We'll see you later. All right, so we just heard from Jesse Schmidt with the Better Business Bureau, chatting us with about tips for National Preparedness Week. So I'll just put that banner up there for you so you can kind of see what we're chatting about here. Now, you can get all of this information, as Jesse was saying, on the Preparedness Week website. You can also get information on these topics at bbb.org. So they do have tips. You just kind of have to scroll through and kind of find out what you're looking for, and different resources and featured content and what you would like to know to help you be better prepared in the event of an emergency. Before we go, though, I do just want to say we should take a look outside. I don't know about you, but I'm really appreciating these fall-like temperatures, at least this week. But however, I am told that it's going to heat up again next week. Summer is not over yet. At least that's the last time I spoke with meteorologist David Keller. He was telling me that yesterday. But before we go, I do have an update for you. So let's get over to our first national camera. Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord says today, sunny and mild out there, a high of 81. Pretty ideal, if you do say me. Ooh, we're zooming out live. There we go. There's another look at the Missouri River for you. Tonight, he says, clear and cool with a low of 57, so we'll take that for sure as we head over to the Children's Nebraska cam for you. And then Wednesday, mostly sunny, a bit more humidity with a high of 87. Let's take a look here at 90th and Dodge. A lot more traffic today than on Labor Day, of course, but today is a busy travel day if you are headed back from your destination, if you're going to work, if you're heading out to lunch at this hour. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So Rusty does say for Thursday, though, this is mostly cloudy, and this is when we could expect a 30% chance of spotty showers and storms with a high of 81. So we'll be sure to have to stay tuned for that and kind of see how the week progresses. But in the interim, really enjoying the weather and hope you are as well. And thanks so much for joining me at the Alert Center. We'll see you again tomorrow.